Hello and welcome to Restless Gecko Reviews. Today I'm going to be looking at the Kurosun Samurai, the balance pad from Kurosun. But before I get into it, I just want to say if you could drop a like or a dislike or a comment, it massively helps with the algorithm. And if you're feeling generous and you want to subscribe, please do. It is massively appreciated. So now on to the review. So the Kurosun Samurai. This mousepad comes in at 490 by 420 by 3mm. So it's going to disappoint some of the square pad enjoyers like myself, but to be honest with you, it is big enough for all intents and purposes. It's not too thin, it's not too thick, it's a nice sort of thickness there. Great sort of sticky rubber, not rubber, but I don't know, material on the bottom. It doesn't move on the desk at all. I've currently got it on top of my Rizz Doodles because that's the mouse pad I'm currently trying out and enjoying as well. But yeah, it's great quality, absolutely great quality. It's a smooth surface, a little bit textured. If you move your hand up, you can actually like lift up the surface a little bit, and that does translate into mouse movement, but I'll get onto that a little bit later on. So yeah, great. The design is sort of embedded in the surface. It doesn't feel any different from the surface, so I'm guessing it's dyed in. So yeah, it doesn't get in the way at all, and it's a great design. It looks awesome. Everything you'd want if you are a fan of samurais. So yeah, it is a balance pad, but it's not balanced in the same way that a Zero is balanced. So a Zero is balanced and there's not too much static or dynamic friction. It's pretty much par for the course. Nothing really, yeah, it is what it is. It's a balance pad. This is balanced in a slightly different way. So this pad has a lower dynamic friction, but in terms of the static friction, it's a reasonable amount higher. So it's balancing those two sort of elements, in my opinion. So I find that flicking is really nice with it because I can move quite quickly. But when I'm looking to micro adjust, I've got that sort of ease of use, that micro adjustment. At first, the moving the mouse vertically does have a little bit more resistance than horizontally, but that does go away with time. And I think that's owing to the pattern itself until it sort of like breaks in a little bit. The actual texture of the mousepad actually reminds me of training tops for like sport and stuff like that. So if you're on two teams and one's got the red bibs and one's got the green bibs or vests, whatever you want to call them, it's kind of like that texture. It's really interesting, and it does look like a sports top weave. It's kind of got these little tiny ovals that move all the way across, so it does look to preference sort of horizontal movement. But yeah, I found it really nice. It is one of my I'd say top 5 pads, top 3 pads, maybe even number 1 of 2024 so far. It's just been an absolute joy to play with. I do tend to find though that as I get a bit stickier and warmer, it's quite humid here in the UK, my hand does get a little bit stuck to it at times, but it's not too bad. It's not something like Hyate R2 or a rougher surface where you do get stuck to it. But like I said, I think I've actually hit a PB on my 6 shot with this. I think I broke the 110,000 mark on it on 6 shot ultimate, so I was quite happy with that. Performed really well, really consistent with it. Massively enjoy the design, the shape, everything. It's just the size, sorry. It's a absolutely fantastic pad. So in terms of speed, I would put this, it's slower than a Zero, but it's still faster than something like a GSR-2 or a GSR-SE Rouge or any of the SE line really. It's just a nice, it's more on the control side of the balance spectrum, but yeah, it's a great pad nonetheless. They are starting to sell out now, but I believe I think Zerk Gaming Mods, if you're in Europe, has 1 or 2, so if you can get on them. But most of these are now going to be purchased second hand because I think they are obviously a limited run. But yeah, if you didn't miss out on it, then good on you, and if you can still get one, I would massively recommend it. This is a big rec. It's such a great mouse pad that sort of suits all sorts of games really. It ticks all the boxes, everything you'd ever need all in one. If I said you had to have, if I could only ever have one mouse pad, this would probably be it. Yeah, it's just awesome. In terms of maintenance, it does pick up a few hairs and things like that, and it does get underneath the weave on top, but if you get a microfiber cloth and just wipe it off, it just comes straight off. Absolutely no issues whatsoever. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one, unless I could think of anything else. But yeah, just for the different skate types, so I'm using core pads on my GPX2, obviously a 60 gram mouse, and it's relatively controlled. It does tend to favour larger skates. You are obviously slower because you have a bigger surface area. That's just how friction and physics works. I've had it's the same experience with the Deathadder V3 Pro with stock skates as well, in case you're interested. Maybe slightly faster than core pads, obviously, just based on like stock OEM skates. In terms of dot skates, as you'd expect, it's a little bit quicker as you've got a smaller surface area, and you can really dig in with this though, obviously, as you can with all dot skates. I believe these are not obsidians. What are they? Jades. These are the jade dot skates. But yeah, it's a great experience with all of them, to be fair. And you can't go wrong if you can pick one of these bad boys up. So yeah, massive recommendation from me. Probably the best mouse pad of 2024 so far. We'll see what comes out next. But this is where my sort of interest is at the moment. The mouse market's gone a bit stale. So I think, yeah, mouse pads are probably the way to go with this one. I think it can really sort of shape your game in a different way other than a mouse. Because, I mean, these two are much of a muchness. They're similar sizes, similar shapes, similar grip style. For me, I can sort of pull off my grip style with both of them, but the thing that's really making the difference at the moment for me is mouse pads. So yeah, so stay tuned for more mouse pads. The next one will be the Doodles Rizz, which I'm quite enjoying as well. Really interesting design from Nacho Customs. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Let me know if there's anything I haven't covered down below, and I will get back to you. But yeah, see you in the next video. Bye bye.